Hi, and welcome to another video. Today what I'm going to talk to you about is finding things to put on your CV to really enhance it, to give yourself things to talk about in your interview, and how to build kind of a portfolio of experiences that demonstrate your skills. So the first one that I want to talk about is university societies. Whether you're at university or not, there can be opportunities within your community. So I know often on like Facebook or things, there'll be groups. That is kind of the equivalent of, a university society if you're not at university anymore or you've graduated or whatever. But yeah, they can be really great. You've got political groups, you've got study groups if you want to learn a particular skill, or get a community around you all going for a similar kind of role in industry. And equally, maybe just have a bit of fun. Maybe you love musical theatre, or you love theatre or acting, or maybe you love paintings. Those kind of creative outlets can be really beneficial. It's internship. They're going to give you tailored experience. They're going to be kind of the shining star on your CV if you're able to get one. However, I think it's been done to death that, internships are really great. They are very, very difficult to get in my experience. They can take a lot of time to get, which when you're focusing on your studies can be quite difficult. If you're having to do, 20 applications to 20 different companies and, you have to fill in your CV, you've got to write another cover letter. Getting that experience can come at a cost to, whatever you're doing at that time. You might have exams because they often really align with the exam periods in terms of the deadlines for intern applications. So I say it's not the be all and end all. You will be okay if you don't get an internship, but if you can, they're great. Sport and fitness. So I know careers teams are always like, oh, well, join a football team and then you can say you do collaboration. Yeah, sure, if football's your thing, but there's a lot of different sports that are available. And even if you do something that's, traditionally more of a solo sport like climbing, when I've been doing climbing, you go with a couple of friends and you're helping each other, you're directing them on where to climb, and it's still a collaborative thing even though it's more of a solo sport. And even if you're just going to the gym or you're working on your fitness and doing yoga or Zumba or anything like that, these skills, you don't necessarily have to, dedicate a large chunk to your CV. Well, the next one is volunteering, which kind of, is similar to society, similar to sports, but, kind of a different flavor. It can be really nice to improve the community around you, whether that's working at a food bank, working litter picking, or they can also be a really great place for, meeting people who also care about this issue that you care about. Volunteering is the people that are going, their interests outside of that volunteering are so vast, so broad. It can be really nice to meet people who care about completely different things to you, beneficial. So teaching is separate to outreach. So it might be that you do private tuition, you might help with a course, you might do demonstrator work. Outreach is where you kind of go into schools and you give a talk on what you're doing, or maybe you do like public outreach. So I kind of group them together because they kind of have similar themes. But yeah, they both have benefits. Both can improve your confidence, both can improve your ability to speak to. What I like to do is have kind of at the end just a hobbies and skills section where anything that doesn't really fit towards this specific job but is still kind of an interesting part about me kind of goes. So at least the university that I went to for my undergrad had schemes like an award for if you do X, Y, and Z. And these can be really nice frameworks to work inside of when you're trying to find experience. Opportunities where you work alongside your studies, maybe, 2 hours a week on a project. These kind of projects can be really great. They can be kind of a refreshing break from your studies. And I really enjoyed some of the ones that I worked on kind of through the uni. So part-time work is obviously very valuable in terms of extra money. Depending on your financial situation, it might be something you don't have a choice about. So you obviously have your traditional part-time in terms of, waitressing, maybe working in a bar, and kind of paid part-time jobs. So online courses, I think, can be really beneficial in terms of giving you an opportunity to learn something that's not contained within your course, but is industry specific. So you understand, is this an industry that you do want to go into? And kind of back yourself further with that and encourage further development of those skills. There's a lot of free courses, there's a lot of, free trial courses, and there's a really great way to learn, especially if you're kind of coming to the end of your research, or you're coming to the end of your degree and you're kind of looking at a lot of time procrastinating, why not fill that time with, a productive course so that you at least feel like you're doing something. So kind of on the same vein, skills and hobbies. It can be really nice, skills or hobbies. So you're not going to necessarily have to talk about them so much if they're not relevant, but they can be a great way to, fill a little bit of space on the CV. Like I was saying before, if you want to have, that section where you talk about your skills, talk about your hobbies, these do demonstrate that you have passions. They're things that you can talk about passionately. Is an interesting thing that you should maybe share on the CV to kind of separate you from others. Maybe you've got an interesting skill that most people don't have. Maybe you're a really good pub quizzer or whatever. It can set you apart and maybe make you more memorable when someone reads your CV. I hope that helped. At least give you a couple of ideas on where to get started when looking at activities to do to kind of flesh out your CV. Feel free to like and subscribe. Goodbye.